Okay, Michael from NCY Store. We're continuing back where we left off. Pretty much we were trying to put our shocks back on. I pretty much had to put the center kickstand on a couple of wooden blocks, maybe about, looks like an inch and a half the most thick. And that helped me lift it up the tail a little bit, but I had to actually manually lift it up myself and then aligned it. I had to have another person help me. So that way I can drive the bolt in, because this bolt was a tricky one again, remember again. It was kind of like smooth, and then all of a sudden it has thread. So the only thread that it will do is pretty much on the NCY shock end. So that means I had to actually get it all the way back here in order to get the thread in there. You can see here maybe a little bit. See how much thread's coming out? Not much. And you see how there's a barricade there? So unfortunately I couldn't use our gunmetal solution there, our M8. Actually this is a 10 millimeter, but the thread's M8. 8mm thread, but it's a 10mm socket that drives in it. But what's convenient is that I was able to do it for the other side because it had a little bit longer length, so I was able to replace one. You can see here it didn't turn out too shabby. It's not the greatest. I think we could probably do better than that. If anything, if you really want the gunmetal color, you could probably do some powder coating yourself, but just be careful. If you start powder coating and thicken, everything, all the threads and stuff won't come together that easily, so you're gonna have to probably sand it back off, so there's no point. So yeah, that's the closest we got from what it was. So we were able to pretty much use this solution here. You can pick up at the auto store. And to dissolve, once was chrome like this. I think there is a protection coating, but it says right here, it says protected 12 months. So I'm not sure, you know, if we went to extreme and left it in there. But this is how it came out, if you remember. Yeah, so we were able to replace this longer one. That was fine. But the other one, shorter one, it was hitting the other crankcase, so we kept that out. We could have just maybe, you know, get a little hand whatever those grinding is, the grinding tool, and saw it off, but that's okay. So now they both come up. I can just use one socket. Before, this one took a different one. You can see here the diameter of it's different. It's a little bit bigger too, so trying to find a socket for that one, it was inconvenient. So now I can have two bolts of the same M10 bolt socket, but it's really a 8mm thread. So you can see here it fits right here, both 10mm, so no problem there. Yep, so I put right there. This one as well. Yep, this one could be a little bit looser actually, but no, it's still an M10. They call it M10 meaning it's 10mm socket, short, just having to say 10mm. Now it's just M10. All right, so we got the wheel in there now. The thing about it is the engine is really loud because the exhaust is not bolted on there. And I realized this exhaust came with its own kind of bolt setup. Here's the exhaust here. We kept it in its nice little tacked aluminum. It was a perfect shape actually. It was almost like the stock. So I didn't have to modify anything. I just pretty much had to bolt it on. I'll show you the bolt on pattern. Bolt on, it had a little gasket here. It's very tight now. It's like a center small gasket. And it's Allen wrench, so it's very sturdy. I think it's still twisted though. And the thing about it, if you can angle it, you still have some leakway room, so you can actually make the exhaust split from the wheel more or come in closer. And I try to keep it parallel to the wheel. Don't look too kind of funky, like it's just sticking out here like a sore leg. Okay, so that's what I did. I put the exhaust like right there. I'll show you right now. So have the exhaust here. Let me take out the cover. Kept in here to protect the finishing on the real carbon fiber. Here's real carbon fiber. It was a really good deal. I got it for a fair price. It was like $160 or something like that. So it's not like the top of the line exhaust like Yoshimura brand name or anything like that, but it'll do the job. So there it goes. You can actually have it tilted a little bit this way. It just depends how you angle. And I didn't want to put the stress on just two. I believe they're 8mm threads still. I didn't want to put the stress on both of them. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use this to have a perfect mount on it. Unfortunately, the mount that they came with are kind of short. I guess most swing arms will have some more metal plating that comes out where you can mount it on there a little bit, maybe an inch away or something. But since this one I didn't have it, I might have had an old one when I got rid of the stock, and I mean the stock thing. And besides, this was a 150, and they actually put a 50cc pipe in there, and it was so small. It wasn't even like this size. It was like really small, like that. And it had a great sound to it, and it worked and everything. But it's nice to go big, you know. So here we go. I'll show you what came with it. See, it came with, this is my original. This is actually, I believe this is probably the original one. I kept it actually just to reference it, right? You can see how it's angled.